walking by my apartment with dogs and just say how beautiful their dogs are. Hi there, welcome to the vlog. You saw the other day I went to NDG, which is a great neighborhood, underrated neighborhood in Montreal. Notre-Dame-de-Grâce is the full name. Anna and I went to Encore Books, which is one of our favorite used bookstores basically anywhere, honestly. Yeah, one of my favorite bookstores in the city, my go-to used bookstore. I find so much good stuff there. I don't even have to go past like the outdoor dollar bins. Yesterday, I literally found 2 books that I really wanted to read in the dollar bins outside, and I haven't even gotten inside yet. And they have so much great stuff inside. They do books, records, it's like CDs, DVDs, prints, basically all the good stuff. And I ended up walking out with 6 books, and I was walking around with my stack for a bit. I only got halfway through the fiction alphabet and picked up 6 books, and so I thought, oh gosh, I don't know if I want to go through the rest of the store in detail. I did end up going through the rest of fiction, but I didn't pick up anything else, so yay to the early half of the alphabet this time. And so I'm holding my 6 books, ready for Anna to come around the corner because we immediately split up. And Anna's a great person to go to a bookstore with because we have the same process as we get locked in, we focus. And yeah, we don't chat while we're in the bookstore. We just go our separate ways. And Anna eventually comes around the corner with like 12 books. And so I said, okay, good. So we cheersed our giant stacks. We did some mild damage, but hey, used bookstore. So the first book I've got is The Marrow Thieves by Sherry DeMilleen, and I've been keeping an eye out for this for years. In a world nearly destroyed by global warming, the indigenous people of North America are being hunted for their bone marrow, which carries the key to recovering something the rest of the population has lost, the ability to dream. Frenchie and his companions, struggling to survive, don't yet know that one of them holds the secret to defeating the Marrow Thieves. Just over the years, heard really good things about it and was delighted to see it there. Next up, I got Universality by Natasha Brown. I loved her other book, Assembly. I just loved the style and the premise of Assembly. I thought it was really great. And it was so short, though. I wanted more. And so hopefully Universality can deliver on that. I think it's slightly different in kind of theme and setting. Yeah, because Assembly is sort of a quiet, like introspective novel about like racial differences, class differences of this woman, this black woman in the UK dating like a really rich white man, if I recall correctly. It's been a couple of years. Late one night on a Yorkshire farm, in the midst of an illegal rave, a young man is nearly bludgeoned to death with a solid gold bar. Hence the, An ambitious young journalist sets out to uncover the truth surrounding the attack, connecting the dots between an amoral banker landlord, an iconoclastic columnist, and a radical anarchist movement that has taken up residence on the farm. She solves the mystery, but her viral exposé raises more questions than it answers, namely who wrote it, why, and how much of it is true. Through a voyeuristic lens and with a simmering power, Universality focuses in on words, what we say, how we say it, and what we really mean. Sounds awesome. I'm so excited. It's another shorty. Like, I love a short novel. It means you really packed it in. And some people, like, sometimes it doesn't land. Sometimes it doesn't quite work, but I found that Assembly worked, and so I'm looking forward to reading this one. This is another one I've heard amazing things about. This is Cold Enough for Snow by Jessica Aw. Winner of the inaugural Novel Prize, Cold Enough for Snow is an elegant and subtle exploration of the mysteries of our relationships to others. A mother and daughter travel from abroad to Tokyo. They walk along the canals through the autumn evenings, escape the typhoon rains, share meals in small cafes and restaurants, and visit galleries to see some of the city's contemporary art. All the while they talk about the weather, horoscopes, clothes, and objects, about family, distance, and memory, but uncertainties abound. Who is really speaking, and what is the real reason for this elliptical, perhaps even spectral journey? At once a careful reckoning and an elegy, Cold Enough for Snow questions whether any of us speak a common language, which dimensions can contain love, and what claim we have to truly know another's inner world. This sounds incredible. I will have to wait for a time where I feel able to read it. I feel like this will hit me very, very close. My mother passed away last year, and so I have to be careful with stories like this. It sounds amazing. Next, I picked up A.S. Byatt's Angels and Insects. This is just 2 novellas put together, I think. Yeah, Morpho Eugenia and the Conjugal Angel. Conjugal. I really liked A.S. Byatt's Possession when I read it, like, ages ago. I was in my undergrad. And, yeah, I don't know. I know nothing about these, but they sound amazing. Like Possession, they are set in the mid-19th century, weaving fact and fiction, reality and romance. And that is all it says. And I have the matching edition of Possession, and so they will sit very cutely right beside each other. Next up, I got Nancy Mitford's Highland Fling. This is another that I didn't really know about. I know of Nancy Mitford. I actually don't know if I've read any of her work before. This is what they had of hers, and I thought it sounded super fun. So this is her first novel, published in 1931, a set of completely incompatible and hilariously eccentric characters at a Scottish castle. Bright young things play pranks on their stodgy elders until the frothy plot climaxes in ghost sightings and a dramatic fire. It sounds exactly up my alley. It is the alley. Inspired in part by Mitford's youthful infatuation with a Scottish aristocrat, the story follows young Jane Dacre to a shooting party at Dalla Castle, where she tramps around a damp and chilly moor on a hunting expedition with formidable Lady Prog. Oh, it's a list. With formidable Lady Prog, xenophobic General Murgatroyd, one-eyed Admiral Wenceslaus, and an assortment of other ancient and gaudy peers of the realm, while falling in love with Albert, a surrealist painter with a mischievous sense of humor. My goodness. Oh yeah, and then Pursuit of Love and Love in a Cold Climate are her 2 big books, her more famous books. And then lastly, I've got Old Enough by Haley Jacobson, who I follow on Instagram, and so I saw like a lot of the promo about this through her Instagram. Savannah, Sav, Henry, is almost the person she wants to be, or at least she's getting closer. It's the second semester of her sophomore year of college. She's finally come out as bisexual, is making friends with the other queers in her dorm, and is just about recovered from her first disastrous queer situationship. She's cautiously optimistic that her life is about to begin. But when she learns that Izzy, her childhood best friend, is engaged, Sav faces a crisis of confidence. Things with Izzy haven't been the same since what happened between Sav and Izzy's older brother when she was 16. Now, with the wedding around the corner, Sav is forced to reckon with the trauma she thought she could put behind her. On top of it all, Wes can't stop thinking about Wes from her gender studies class. Sweet, funny Wes with their long eyelashes and green backpack. Kinda love a green backpack. There's something different here, with Wes and her new friends. It feels terrifyingly like they might truly see her in a way no one has before. So, alright, that's the haul. I'll put all of these on the shelf. I'm not necessarily going to read any of these right now, I think, because I already have quite a TBR. It's right here. I'm still reading Lot by Shalla von Reinhold. Hello, editing the video, and I realized I never told you what Lot was about. It's about someone who works in archives and is at this really exclusive research residency. Through obsessive research on an overlooked Black modernist poet, the narrator buckles under the vacuousness of the art world and also curates a queer historical scene, breaking it open and reveling in it. And it was published by Metonymy Press, but this is just the Canadian edition. It was originally published in the UK by Jacaranda Books. It's a long read, I must say, and I'm having a bit of a hard time getting through it. I don't know if it's me or if it's the book. It's a little dense, but not in a bad way. Dense, complimentary. I think the back cover description is accurate. Ornate, layered prose feels right. I like the story overall. I don't know that it needs this much text to get to the point that the author is making, but I am I think I want to finish it though, because I think maybe once I've finished it, I'll appreciate the whole of it. Anna and I are hanging out again, and we're gonna go to Messorem, which is like a, is it a brewery or is it a like a beer garden type thing? I don't know. I've never been, mostly because I'm not really a beer person, but apparently they have a beer slushy that I must try. And Anna's also not a beer person, and so I trust her telling me that I must try it. This week I want to do some writing. I'm starting to read The Artist's Way. I I don't think I like how it's written, but I like the concept of it, of just like rebooting your creative practice. And so let's do a little bit of that this week. I think maybe tomorrow I'll start doing some morning pages. I'm overdue for some journaling anyway. And let's try writing a little bit at some point this week. Yeah, all right, let's go get a beer slushie. Like it's nice, and then also doesn't taste like beer, but then does taste like beer. Yes.
No, that's not.
It's so many things.
It's so many things. It's a light. It's a really multifaceted drink.
Yeah.
All of the
had lunch with my friend Haley today, and we went to Joie de Livre, the bookstore that I went to, I guess, a couple of videos ago. I got to try their food, try their coffee. I don't remember what they call it, but I had the grilled cheese with caramelized onions, and it was pretty good. And I think I need to make a grilled cheese with caramelized onions. I had a hazelnut latte, which was very good. Yeah, my initial impressions of the food were that it's like a little expensive, but they use good quality ingredients and tip is included in the price. Haley's quite into romance novels at the moment, and so she was looking around. She didn't really find a whole lot that she was interested in, but it was cool to have that knowledge because I don't read a lot of romance. I don't read a lot of genre fiction generally. Most of the books that I really like are more literary fiction, sometimes a little weird, but generally, yeah, wouldn't be found at this bookstore that curates specifically genre fiction. However, I did stumble across a book that I've never heard of that caught my eye. Actually, its sequel caught my eye. And then I saw that it was a sequel. And so I went to go find the original. And so this is The Secret Lives of Country Gentlemen by K.J. Charles. And I thought this sounded just delightful. Yeah. An unwary gentleman and his charming smuggler prince find love amidst skullduggery, danger, and murder most foul. Set in a marsh in England, and I hope we get a lot of fun little creatures. Finished reading Lot by Charlotte van Reinhold, and I didn't love it. and I'll tell you why. I thought Lot had some great themes, a great concept, really strong bones, but I found in execution it just didn't quite work for me, and I think it's because there were so many amazing elements that were there. I just found that we didn't focus on any of these things in enough depth that we were told a story very effectively. I felt very similarly about Gideon the Ninth. It just felt like there were a lot of elements all together, but they weren't actually connected together in a way that was telling what it felt like a cohesive story. I think I did understand what the author was trying to do, but it just wasn't working for me. I didn't really feel anything to grasp onto, and for 450 pages, I think you kind of need that. Yeah, I feel like it's for someone. I'll find someone who enjoys it, and this book is theirs. But yeah, it did not work for me.
All of a sudden, thousands of frogs were set free, and they flew down and brought this blinding light of love. And it seemed like that love would be the only thing that would make any difference.
And last night I stayed up late finishing Last Summer in the City. I enjoyed it. I think as much as you you can enjoy it. It's a bit of a downer, but it's a very quiet book, and I think I needed that. I wanted just sort of a simple, complimentary, a simple, quiet book.